You began with resilience, right? And if you know, this is something very, very important for each one of us. Why? Because it's something that can change your life and more than any natural gift you were born with. And that is resilience. You must have heard about the term talent, right? It's like being naturally good at something. Maybe you are talented at maths, drawing, sports. It can be anything. Talent is awesome. But here's the thing, talent alone won't take you far. So, today, I want to share with you why resilience, that is the ability to bounce back when things get tough, matters way more than talent. And I like to think it this way, that talent is the spark, but resilience is the fire that keeps burning. So let's get down to understand what it actually means. Imagine you're naturally good at playing piano. Your fingers just know where to go. And people say, wow, you're so talented. That's amazing, right? But what happens when you reach a really hard song that you can't play perfectly the first time or the 10th time? If you only rely on talent, you might think, maybe I'm not as good as everyone thought. Or you might feel disappointed and want to quit. And this happens to so many talented people. They used to things coming easily, and when something finally gets hard, they don't know how to handle it. They burn out like a shooting star, bright for a moment and then gone. But resilient people, they keep practicing that hard song. They mess up, they get frustrated, but they come back tomorrow and try again. And guess what? Eventually, they master that hard song, while the talented person who quit never does. So, let me tell you about some real people who weren't necessarily the most talented, but boy, were they resilient? Today, we might say they're talented as well. So, in the Indian context, let me share a story about two friends. And I'm sure you know both of them. One is our cricketing legend, Sachin Tendulkar, and the second, his dear friend, Vinod Kambli. Both of them began their cricketing journey at the same time, the best of buddies. In fact, in the initial phase of their career, people said Vinod Kambli is more talented than Sachin Tendulkar. And he definitely showed that spark in the initial cricketing matches. And as India is a cricket loving country, we thought, yes, we've got two diamonds in our team. But what happened next? Finally, Tendulkar became a legend who was thought to be less talented, and Vinod Kambli faded away. Why? In fact, in one of the interviews, Tendulkar's cricketing partner Virendra Sehwag said, even after being known as a legend, Tendulkar is the one who practices the most. Tendulkar is the one who will come to the training field the first as a first player. And that is what resilience is. So Vinod Kambli couldn't show that resilience. And today, if you read the news, Vinod Kambli is lack of funds. He's even dependent on friends for living his, for in fact, his survival. So, see, he was talented, hugely talented, but he lacked resilience. Even Thomas Edison, who invented the light bulb, failed more than 1,000 times before he got it right. And someone asked him how it felt to fail so many times. And he said, I didn't fail 1,000 times. The light bulb was an invention of 1,000 steps. Can you imagine trying something 1,000 times and not giving up? And that is resilience. Even J.K. Rowling, the author who wrote Harry Potter, was rejected by 12 different publishers. Imagine writing a whole book and having 12 people tell you, nah, we don't want it. She was also a single mom with very little money, but she didn't give up. She kept sending her book to publishers until someone finally said yes. And now, Harry Potter is one of the most famous book series ever. So let's think about some examples from our own everyday life. For example, learning to swim. Did anyone learn to swim without gulping that chlorine water of the pool? No. Everyone has gulped at some point of time. The difference is some kids get back and try again, while others say, oh, this is too hard, and never learn. The resilient kid who keep trying, they are the ones splashing the pool and having fun, even making friends. Sometimes when you try to make a new friend, they might not want to play with you right away. It can hurt your feelings. A resilient person might think, that's okay. Maybe they are having a bad day. I'll try again tomorrow or make friends with someone else. A non resilient person might think, nobody likes me, and stop trying to make friends altogether. So now I want to share something super cool about your brain. Did you know that your brain can change and grow stronger when you face tough situations? And it's true. When you try something hard, don't give up. Your brain actually builds new connections. It's like your brain is growing little pathways that make you stronger and smarter. Scientists call this neuroplasticity, but I like to call it brain's superpower. Each time you face a challenge and push through, your brain is literally rewiring itself to be more resilient the next time. It's like working out a muscle. The more you use your resilience muscle, the stronger it gets. So, how do we build this amazing resilience muscle? So, let me share some very, very simple ways. One, try new hard things. Sign up for that art class, even if you don't think you are artistic. Try that math puzzle, even if it looks hard. Every time you do something challenging, you are building resilience. Number two, change how you talk to yourself. Instead of saying, I can't do this, say, I can't do this yet. That little word, that little word make a huge, huge difference. And third, Celebrate your efforts, not just your wins. Did you practice piano for 30 minutes even though it was hard? That deserves a celebration, even if you didn't master the song yet. Number four, learn from your mistakes. And it's very profound, very important to understand. When something goes wrong, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Every mistake is a teacher if you are willing to learn. And last, remember your past resilience. Think about times when you kept going even when things were tough. You did it before and you can do it again. Let me tell you a quick story about two students, Maya and Zakir. Maya was naturally gifted at maths. Everything came easily to her, and she never had to study much to get A's. And Zakir, he struggled with maths like anything. He had to work twice as hard as Maya just to get even a B. And then they both hit algebra in the eighth grade. Suddenly, for the first time, Maya found math difficult. She got her first C on a test. It was devastating. She thought, maybe I'm not really good at math after all, and started avoiding her homework. And Zakir, on the other hand, was used to math being challenging. When algebra came along, he just did what he always did. He worked hard, asked questions when he was confused, and practiced extra problems. It wasn't easy, but he kept at it. And by the end of the year, guess who had better grade? Zakir. Not because he suddenly became more talented than Maya, but because his resilience muscle was strong. Maya had never built that muscle because she's never needed it before. So the moral of the story is sometimes the things that come easily to us don't teach us what we really need to succeed in life. So I want you to take a moment and think about your own life. One, can you remember three situations where it wasn't your natural talent that helped you succeed, but your persistence and determination? Think of those three situations. Then, number two, think about a really tough moment you faced. How did you overcome it? Was it through sheer talent, or was it because you refused to give up? Number three, I want you to say to yourself, I rise again and again. This can be your personal paraphrase when things get tough. So here's what I want you to remember: talent might determine where you start, but resilience determines how far you will go. You might not be the most talented singer, but if you practice with passion every day, you will go further than someone with a natural voice who never works at it. You might not be a natural at making friends, but if you keep being kind and putting yourself out there, you will build deeper relationships than someone who gives up after one awkward conversation. Life isn't about avoiding falls, it's about how quickly you get back up. It's about being like water. When water hits a rock, it doesn't give up, it flows around it and keeps going. My challenge to you today is do one thing this week that scares you a little, something you're not naturally good at. And when it gets hard, because it will, I want you to remember I rise again and again. This world is full of talented people who never reach their potential because they quit when things get tough. But the world is also full of average people who have accomplished extraordinary things because they simply refuse to give up. So, which person do you want to be? Think about it. Thank you for listening. And now go out there and build that resilience muscle because it's the most important one you've got. And always remember, diamonds are just pieces of coal that handled stress really, really well. So be the diamond you want or you are meant to be. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.